never believed in ghost stories. Growing up, I always thought people exaggerated tales of haunted houses just to scare each other. But everything changed the night I moved into the old house on Hollow Creek Road. It started with a strange ad I found online. Free stay for 1 month in a fully furnished home. No rent, no bills, just keep the place tidy. It sounded too good to be true, but I was broke, desperate, and curious. I called the number. The man who answered had a flat, cold voice. "You can have the house. Stay as long as you like, but remember one thing. Never go into the basement after midnight." I laughed at first, thinking it was a joke, but his tone never shifted. When I arrived, the house stood alone, surrounded by trees that seemed too tall, blocking out most of the light. The shutters rattled in the wind. The front door creaked open by itself. Inside, the air felt heavy, stale, like it hadn't been breathed in for decades. Dust floated in the thin light from the windows, yet everything was strangely clean. Furniture perfectly arranged, beds made, dishes stacked in the cupboards. It didn't feel abandoned. It felt like someone had just left. That first night, I told myself everything was fine. The silence was thick, broken only by the occasional groan of the wood. I lay in bed, staring at the ceiling when I heard it. Footsteps, upstairs, slow, deliberate. I tried to tell myself it was just the building settling, but deep down, I knew footsteps when I heard them. By the third night, the house began to change. Doors I had shut were left open in the morning. The kitchen chairs were slightly moved. A glass rolled across the table as if pushed by an unseen hand. One evening, I noticed faint scratches on the hallway wall. At first, they looked like random marks, but when I traced them with my fingers, I realized they formed words. Childish handwriting. It said, "Don't go down." I told myself I was imagining things, but the scratches deepened every night. More words appeared. "He is waiting. Stay upstairs." I stopped sleeping. I kept hearing whispers just beyond the edge of hearing, like children giggling in the walls. Then, one morning, I woke to find every mirror in the house covered in dust. Not just ordinary dust. Handprints smeared across them. Small handprints, as if children had pressed their palms against the glass. The neighbor was the first person I talked to. An older man, hunched and pale, who stared at me with wide eyes when I mentioned where I was staying. "You shouldn't be in that house," he whispered. When I asked why, he simply shook his head and muttered, "Some doors should never be opened." Then he walked away. That night, I sat awake in bed, clutching a flashlight. Just past midnight, I heard the basement door slowly creak open. Something was down there. Something waiting. I should have left. Every part of me screamed to leave, but curiosity, It pulls at you like a hook. At exactly 12:03 a.m., I took the flashlight and walked toward the basement door. The air grew colder with every step. The basement smelled of mold and rust. My light flickered as I moved down the stairs. On the walls, I saw them, dozens of childlike drawings scratched into the wood. Stick figures, houses, and words scrawled over and over. "Don't leave us." I shivered, my breath fogging in the freezing air. That's when the whispering started. I swung the light around, but the room was empty. Then, in the corner, I saw an old mirror leaning against the wall, dust-covered, cracked. When I lifted the light toward it, my blood ran cold. It showed me, but not me. My reflection stood there, smiling. Its eyes were black, hollow pits. I stumbled back, dropping the flashlight. The basement went dark. In the pitch black, I heard children laughing, hundreds of them circling me. Tiny footsteps ran across the floor. I bolted up the stairs, slamming the basement door shut. The whispers followed me, pressing against the door, scratching, begging. All night, I sat against the wall, listening to them call my name. By morning, the house was silent again. But when I packed my bags and tried to leave, the front door refused to open. No matter how hard I pulled, it wouldn't budge. And then, behind me, I heard the basement door creak open again.